Hi everybody, Beanmeister22 here, and today we are going to do something really cool. For the very first time ever, we are going to turn on, fire up, start, get rolling, and try using our new Atari VCS gaming console. Remember, it's a retro gaming console. We've had it for months. It was really hard to get. I waited forever and ever and ever. And remember, we did a unboxing video when it finally arrived. And yes, it took this long for me to actually turn the dang thing on. I just had to get it. I didn't want to use it. I just had to buy it. And really quick before we get started here, so what we're going to do is we are going to give a quick shout out to the last 5 people that have commented on my videos, and we'll just go through here really quick. My good buddy, War001, yo bro, he commented on all of my videos. And then we had a comment on a spider video from M.2. And then we had a comment from a pretty cool channel. Go check it out. Power Stuff Up. We had a comment from Dark Metal, another channel you can check out. And we had a comment from Sarah Montel. Sarah's commented and watched a bunch of my videos. Now remember, these channels, some will have content, some may not even have content at all. My buddy Waro, he's got some cool videos. He's got a drone video of alligators at his house. Yeah. But some of these channels don't have any content. It doesn't matter. Go check out their channel. Stop by, leave them a comment, say hi. Hey, it doesn't hurt to be friendly, right? Well, I mean, it does sometimes. So getting back to business, we are firing up the Atari. Now remember, I was kind of disappointed when I unboxed it because even though it has the old retro game look to it, it's considerably smaller. I kind of wanted it to be bigger. Yeah. No comment, right? Alright, so when you buy the Atari VCS, you can buy it in a bundle and it comes with a couple controllers. Classic joystick controller, and it's really not the classic joystick controller because it has more functions. They kind of updated it. So if you liked the original feel of the old joystick, this one's going to take a bit to get used to. And then they have a second controller, which they call the modern controller. So when you buy the base model, it's $299.99. It's an 8GB console, comes with 100 classic Atari games in their vault, but you don't have any controllers, so I don't know what good it is just to buy that. I don't get it. So you need to buy the bundle, and that's $399.99, so another $100, and you get the joystick controller, and you get that modern controller. But the problem was the bundle was sold out everywhere, so what I had to do is I had to buy the base model for $299.99, and then I had to buy a joystick controller and a modern controller, each for $59.99 each, so $60 each. So instead of $400 for the whole thing, I ended up paying about $420, and I'm still happy with it. Could I have waited? Oh yeah, I probably could have waited who knows how long for the bundles to come back in stock. Or I could have ordered it separately like I did, paid another $20, and bam, I got the thing within a week. Definitely the move to make. So if the bundles are sold out, if you can't find them anywhere, it's only an extra $20. And really, what's $20? You're buying a gaming console, which isn't a good gaming console, and they says it's also, it's got PC mode. It's not a really good gaming console, and it's not a really good computer. Well, yeah, my netbook is better than this. This essentially, it's not even as good as the Pandora box I have. So money is not an issue when you're buying it. You're buying it because it's classic Atari. That's the point. That's why you buy it. Not because you're out to get a bargain. Because there's nothing that's a bargain about this. So as I mentioned, this comes with 100 classic games in the Atari VCS Vault, and now I guess there is an Atari VCS Vault 2, which you have to go online. I don't know if it's free or if you have to pay for it, but it can be accessed online, and it has 50 more games. It says it has both arcade and homebrew classics. So I'm thinking it has some that were from those machines, and then some from the real Atari stand-up arcade machines. I mean, that's kind of cool, right? Now, if you don't go online, I believe all you have access to is those 100 Vault games, classic games that are in here. But if you go online, you have access to that Vault 2. There's streaming services, like there's AntStream Arcade, with 1,000 plus officially licensed games from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I think I'm going to check that out. I don't know what it costs. I think it's reasonable. Will I use it enough to get a subscription for multiple months or for a year? No, probably not. In addition to AntStream Arcade, the Atari VCS edition, there's also Air Console. You can use streaming games from there. There's Stadia, which I believe is Google's gaming platform. And then when you go online, I believe you have access, well, from purchase, right, through the store, for other retro and indie games, because they're really trying to get people to do a little coding and come up with some games of their own. That's kind of neat, but not when you're talking this kind of money. It'd be like buying a new Xbox, because we're, getting up in that kind of price range, and then saying, hey, we have a bunch of crappy old games here, and we need some people to make some of their own. So, yeah. And don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't like this, but really, I didn't buy it for its gaming ability. And then remember, one of the big things they were promoting on this was it has PC mode, and it says for PC hobbyists and DIY hardware enthusiasts. And you say, what the hell does that mean? Well, what it means is this is essentially a computer, and you have divided into two modes. You have this gaming console mode, and then there's PC mode. And you have to put your own operating system on it. And I've heard it's been pretty glitchy. I've had a couple people leave comments on my unboxing video who just sounded really nothing more than shills for Atari. And really, I am saying this as a shareholder in Atari. I sold most of my Atari shares. I had, 3,000, 4,000 shares. After it really just tanked and I lost a whole bunch of money, I've sold, I just have a few shares left. So yeah, I invest in Atari, and I'm just being honest with you. So I haven't tried it in PC mode. I may or may not try it because I don't want to put my own operating system on it. What a pain. And really, you put your own operating system on it, and then you have a computer that's the equivalent of, a netbook. So what you have is a gaming console that's not a particularly great gaming console. It's retro and it's cool because of that, but it's not it's not an Xbox, it's not a Wii, it's not, a Nintendo, whatever the hell they're on now. And then you can also run it as a computer, and it's not even going to be a good computer. Now, what I mentioned earlier, remember, I mentioned my Pandora console. Now, my Pandora console has a 32 gig memory. It has 3,399 games, and it cost me $139.99 on Amazon. And I don't remember which generation I have. This is a newer one. I had one that I got a couple years ago, and I just gave that away. That one only had 1,500 games on it. Now, granted, these games are mostly from Japan and other places, as games you remember here in America, but they're classic arcade games, as well as some of the Atari games and things you played on the old Atari 2600 or 5200 or your old Nintendo. When I just looked online, I saw that Amazon had the coupon. I have those things, you click this button to clip a coupon. So that $139.99 they're selling it for now, my version, my model that I have, it's actually cheaper than that. I didn't bother clicking on it, so I can't tell you how much that coupon was for. So really, if all you wanted some really cool classic games and 500 different versions of Mortal Kombat, man, and hundreds of versions of Double Dragon, I'm not joking here. There's 3,399 games, so 3,400 games on it, and I think I played 1942, I played Pole Position 2, and The Simpsons, and a couple of the fighting games. Other than that, 3,400 games, and I know I've played less than 10 of them. So then why did I buy this Atari console? Number one, I like the fact that Atari's trying to make a comeback. I believe they're a French company now. Number two, I like the whole retro idea of it. That's why I'm a little disappointed it's physically smaller than the old Atari 2600. I never had an Atari 5200, so I couldn't tell you the size of that. As I said, I like the idea of the retro games. Now, the problem is you're going to have to go online to really get the full usage from this console. That's going to cost more money. This console is overpriced. You should be able to get it as a bundle for, probably $199, $249 with like a year's subscription to a gaming service. Because really, it's gonna fail. And that's too bad, because I really like the idea of Atari coming back, in the retro gaming world. Alright, so you can see we fired it up for the first time. It's kind of cool. We flipped through and took a look at some of the games. The graphics on this, it's The games are, the graphics are, but, your starting pages here looks good. They put a lot of effort into that. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting online and checking out what they offer. But I'm not going to have my expectations set very high. $420 for this gaming system, 100 games that you could get in one of them. They have those little mini players, little mini console boxes you plug into the TV, like had Pac-Man and Dig Dug on it. So I'm sure all these exist probably for $20 somewhere, but it's not in an Atari console. And remember, it's not even the same Atari, but it's still retro, right? So if you have an extra $400 and some odd just laying around and you don't want to waste it on an Xbox or waste it on something like that, or a PlayStation, well, there's always this. All right, so what do you think? Do you have one of these? Have you ever heard of these? Do you think this is a bit overpriced? I mean, you can't sell it for $100. You're going to have to sell it for $199 or $250 or something. But yeah, it is disappointing. All right, so leave your comments in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching.
Beanmeister 22, the most dangerous man on YouTube.